For these two young beauties, spending their summer breaks together on the North Carolina coast has been a blast.
I just heard that there's this whole thing where they think that Sarah and I were fighting or something. 18. They were not taking script notes from me, guys.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
My goodness, I know what your boobs did last summer. Because whenever you see that movie, it's just a lot.
I was 18.
So it's important better to take care of each other. So yeah, I think we've definitely had friends for a long time.
Jennifer Love Hewitt said that she's possibly returning. You can't tell if that's how.
I have nothing to do with that.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt, two actresses who lit up the screen in I Know What You Did Last Summer, have been rumored to despise each other for decades. What began on the set of a blockbuster slasher film in 1997 has spiraled into one of Hollywood's most stubborn feuds. Sarah reportedly blames Jennifer for her character being written out and killed off, a decision that cut her out of the sequel entirely. And according to insiders, that resentment has never really faded. So let's get into it. You guys have been asking me to cover this messy, decades-long tension between Sarah and Jennifer. These two go all the way back to the filming of I Know What You Did Last Summer. And ever since, the whispers haven't stopped. The root of the drama? Persistent rumors that Jennifer pressured producers to cut Sarah's role short. Sarah played Helen, one of the film's most iconic characters, and according to gossip at the time, Jennifer wanted her gone, so the spotlight stayed firmly on her. Jennifer has denied it, but Sarah's character was ultimately killed off, and the bad blood hasn't disappeared since. Fast forward to 2025, and it all came rushing back. A new legacy sequel to the film was released, with Jennifer reprising her role as Julie James alongside Sarah's real-life husband, Freddie Prinze Jr. Fans quickly noticed the awkward reality. Sarah was left out, her character long dead, while her husband reunited on screen with the woman she's supposedly hated for years. To make matters worse, when both women attended the July 2025 premiere, they carefully avoided being photographed together.
For these two young beauties, spending their summer breaks together on the North Carolina coast has been a blast. And you can bet when they return to their day jobs next fall, Sarah and Jennifer will stay in touch.
I was really homesick the first week, and I think it was the second day of shooting Love left a bouquet of flowers outside my door.
So it's important better to take care of each other. So yeah, I think we've definitely had friends for a long time.
So they're talking about taking care of each other, keeping up after the production is over, so I would say they are friends. This comment reads, I was an extra in the 1997 movie and I can confirm that they did not get along. They didn't speak after any scenes and it was all because of a comment Sarah made about Jennifer being the final girl, and later during filming, Jennifer stated that she was glad that Helen, Sarah's character, was killed off because she didn't have to look at Sarah anymore, and Sarah overheard this. Sarah then made a final comment that she would have been better as the final girl and how Julie was poorly written. The bickering was constant. I remember speaking to Anne Hesh, who couldn't stand either of them during filming, and she witnessed a huge fight where things apparently got physical between them during a wardrobe disagreement, but I don't know how true that was.
Behind the scenes, extras from the original film have shared stories of constant bickering. Some even claimed Sarah overheard Jennifer celebrating her character's death during filming, sparking arguments that nearly turned physical. Others dismissed those rumors as overblown, but the tension was undeniable. Things didn't calm down over time either. On a podcast appearance, Jennifer brushed off the feud by saying, "Girl actresses don't like to work with other girl actresses," insisting she had no power back then to influence the script. She claimed she rooted for Sarah and Freddie's marriage and insisted the so-called feud was blown out of proportion. Still, fans weren't convinced. Why? Because over the years, Sarah herself kept dropping shade. She once quipped on a red carpet that she knew what Jennifer's boobs did last summer, a pointed jab at Jennifer's reputation. Then, in 2024, Sarah announced she wasn't returning for the sequel since her character was gone, but insisted she supported the project because her best friend was directing. Only a few months later, her tone shifted completely. On another red carpet, when pressed about Jennifer's return, Sarah looked visibly annoyed and cut the interviewer short, saying she had nothing to do with that.
But yeah, and then I just heard that there's this whole thing where they think that Sarah and I were fighting or something. Have you heard this? There's like all these things out there, and I was
like in real life.
Yeah, and that yeah, it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed going and like trying to read the stuff now and be like, what are people saying about when we did the movie before, now, all of that stuff. And somebody the other day was like, yeah, I think Julie made sure that she was killed because girl actresses don't like to work with girl actresses. I was like, what are you I was 18. They were not taking script notes from me, guys. Like, what are you talking about?
They were probably friends.
Totally. Totally. I mean, all of us were like in that experience together, kind of, figuring it all out and everything. And I root for her and Freddie, and like, I think it's the cutest thing in the world that they've been married for 100 years and have kids. And like, it's like adorable. So yeah, no, it's just been really funny to see all of this stuff.
At first, she was enthusiastic about the project. She said, "My best friend Jennifer," and not Jennifer Love Hewitt, is directing it. So we joke that she has a job. So I'm always the one telling her, well, what would happen or what wouldn't happen with those characters? So she claims that she was helping
Even more suspicious, Sarah posted Instagram stories tagging everyone involved in the new film, except Jennifer. Fans immediately took that as shade. And then Jennifer responded publicly, saying she had no idea where this narrative came from, that she hadn't even seen Sarah since she was 18, and that she was happy to leave the past in the past. So why is Sarah still so bitter? Some fans think it's jealousy, especially since Freddie is now working alongside Jennifer again. Others believe Sarah simply never forgave Jennifer for allegedly pushing her out of the franchise.
But then a couple weeks later, maybe a few months after, she was asked again about this project while on the red carpet, and you could tell that she's clearly annoyed by the question.
They're an incredible cast, and the script is so much fun.
I know Jennifer Love Hewitt said that she's possibly returning. Can't tell if that's how.
I have nothing to do with that.
And the holidays are here. How are you and the family spending them?
Hopefully together.
This person said that the interviewer is asking the question because Sarah posted a picture on set and it stirred up some questions. She clarified it was for family purposes since Freddie was filming during Thanksgiving. So maybe this would have prompted the interviewer to go and ask her about this because you are the one that's sharing pictures of the set, so you clearly know what's going on.
But then came another bombshell. Sarah was accused of liking Instagram posts that body shamed Jennifer, mocking her with captions like, "I know what you ate last summer." Screenshots circulated online, fueling the narrative that Sarah was still holding onto old grudges. Sarah never directly addressed the accusations, but the damage was done. Fans saw it as proof the feud was alive and well.
How this works, Sarah? We're going to show you a picture of a former co-star, and then you just say whatever comes into your mind first up.
Next one, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
My goodness, I know what your boobs did last summer. Because whenever you see that movie, it's just a lot of cleavage.
Do you know what she's talking about?
Yes.
Okay, right. Just making sure.
I've also seen that movie.
Do you stay in touch with her?
I haven't seen her in a long time.
Yeah.
LA is so segregated that unless you sort of live in the same area and your kids are sort of in the same, you don't run into people the same.
Sure.
Sarah attempted to clarify that red carpet moment by saying that she realized in the moment that she cannot speak about the film because of an NDA and that she's happy for all of her friends and her husband to get together to make this film again, but I'm still not buying it. There was another post where it seems like Sarah seemingly throws shade at Jennifer Love Hewitt by tagging the entire team of "I Know What You Did Last Summer" except her on her Instagram story. So Sarah's really keeping this feud alive because Jennifer has tried to squash this narrative. In July 2025, she did an interview. She said, "Honestly, I don't even know what that was or how that came to be, this feud relationship. I just think that people don't want the narrative to be easy. Why do we always have to be against each other and out for each other?" I mean, I'm sure Jennifer's happy because she's the one who's got the job. Jennifer said, "I haven't seen Sarah. Literally, we've not talked since I saw her when I was 18 years old and the movie first came out. That's why it's so funny to me. People were like, say something back." And I'm like, what am I going to say? I've not even seen her. On my side, we're good. I have no idea where this is coming from. This comment reads that a person doesn't have to keep up with their coworker from 30 years ago. It's funny how a lot of these media outlets try to make something benign into a big deal. Maybe they didn't particularly like each other. That doesn't mean that there's an ongoing feud. Another person adds, "Not too unusual. I also don't talk to coworkers who I had briefly at 18.
Jennifer, meanwhile, kept trying to squash the rumors. In interviews, she's laughed it off, saying she doesn't understand why people want the narrative to be negative. To her, they were just coworkers who went their separate ways after filming Wrapped. But Sarah's subtle digs, icy red carpet moments, and suspicious online activity keep fans convinced there's still bad blood boiling beneath the surface. By the time the new film premiered, people were begging for a reunion photo. But once again, it didn't happen. Sarah explained she was inside with her kids during the big photo moment, while Jennifer skipped the after party. Convenient excuses maybe, or carefully planned avoidance.
A lot of the times, they are simply co-workers that are working together on a project. Sometimes you meet somebody and they become a lifelong friend, just like any normal person at a job has a co-worker. Are you best friends with all your co-workers right now? Do you hang out with them all the time? Will you keep in contact with them for the next 28 years? Probably not. People just cannot separate an on-screen relationship or friendship from the people, the actors playing the roles. People do this all the time with couples and say like they want Jim and Pam to be together in real life from The Office. They're whole human beings outside of that who are actors married to other people. They just really made you believe that they should be together on that show. It's great acting, but not everybody's best friends and not everybody should be together simply because they have an on-screen relationship.
Now, when they did have their red carpet premiere this past summer, there were rumors as to why Sarah and Jennifer couldn't pose together on the red carpet. Sarah said, "For everyone asking, I never got to see Jennifer, who is fantastic in the movie. I was inside with my kids when they had the big carpet. Unfortunately, Jennifer didn't come to the after party." Sarah said, "If you've ever been to one of these, it's crazy. She didn't get a pic with most of the cast, so unfortunately she didn't see Jennifer," which sounds pretty convenient. That was claiming that Sarah was actually liking Instagram posts that were body shaming Jennifer. Honestly, like throughout this video, it really seems like Sarah's the one who feels bitter about their lack of friendship. But if you look at these posts, you'll see that they do appear to be liked by Sarah. There was a recent Instagram story where it seems like Sarah and Jennifer interacted with a fan who has both of their pictures on their wall, so maybe everything's okay.
And then there was TikTok. Viral clips alleged that Sarah continued liking shady posts aimed at Jennifer. Fans were divided. Some believed Sarah was caught red-handed. Others argued the screenshots could have been faked. Regardless, the narrative stuck. Sarah can't seem to let go. The irony: both women have insisted publicly they've moved on, but when you look closely, their actions tell a different story. Whether it's Sarah throwing shade or Jennifer brushing it off, the feud refuses to die. And with Sarah's husband working side by side with Jennifer in the new sequel, the tension has only gotten more awkward. So, what's really going on here? Is this an old Hollywood grudge that Sarah can't let go of, or are fans simply fueling drama that doesn't exist? One thing's for sure: this feud, real or exaggerated, has outlived the franchise itself. And every time these two women show up in the same conversation, the internet loses its mind all over again.